Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. And by Pete's Pizza, celebrating 40 years serving the St. Catharines and Niagara Falls area. Pete's Pizza. Life is not about finding yourself, it's about finding pizza. If you're hungry, visit petespizzaniagara.ca. Celebrating 5 years. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Did you ever wonder where the expression seeing is believing comes from?
If you're studying peniology, what exactly are you studying, and are you studying hard? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy. Welcome to our 5th year. And this week, we scoured the internet to find out these totally useless facts just for you.
Boy, that internet's really, really polished now with all the scouring we did. We will answer your questions in the mailbag segment. And in the news, hey, they stole only the right souls.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Where do expressions come from? We want to know right now.
One of the original jingles that we had here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, it was animals, expressions, and then science, science, science. Those are the original 3 topics we had. Now we have over 18. Isn't that incredible?
It is incredible. And remember, folks, a lot of the categories that we've added were by request from our listeners.
That's right. So we do listen, unlike, well, our wives, but we do listen to you because we really appreciate you listening to us. Okay, I'll start off here. So let me give you my teaser right off the bat because I know when I said peniology, I knew exactly where your brain went.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's a subfield of criminology that deals with the philosophy and practice of various...
I thought it had to do with the bathroom.
Peniology is a subfield of criminology that deals with the philosophy and practice of various societies in their attempts to repress criminal activities, satisfy public opinion, and also the study of, it basically comes from the Greek. Poena, which is punishment, and the suffix is logia, the study of. So, peniology.
I got a good one here.
Right.
Return of post. You know, return of post on a letter?
Well, I was going to say, like the Elvis song, Return to Sender.
Yeah, but the original return of post was from Victorian England days when mail was picked up and delivered, get ready, 12 times a day.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
That way you could get a letter from somebody and then send a return of post immediately back to them the same day. So you could have almost like a chat,
right?
Or
an instant
a text.
Chat. Right? Exactly. Are you a towhead? You've been called.
I would think not.
Well, it refers. So this is what it refers to.
Although I have a foot fetish, Nick.
Yes, you do. Exactly. You also have a clock fetish. You have a lot of clocks in your house. Anyway, so according to the English dictionary, a towhead refers to the fiber of flax. Since flax is light in color, blonde people, especially children, are sometimes referred to as towheads or tow-headed. And that expression was first recorded in the 19th century. So it's based on the fact that flax is lighter in color. I used to be blonde until I lost all my hair.
Yeah, but you're considered far-headed.
Right.
Because your forehead keeps going.
That's right. Four-headed. Wow. Yeah. By the way, it's available for advertising space. Go to nickandroy.com.
Okay, this was my teaser. Seeing is believing. I mean, that's a very common phrase.
Yeah.
It comes from the English clergyman Thomas Fuller. He was a big deal in the church, Thomas Fuller, in England. The full phrase is actually seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth. Now, as time went on, the feeling is the truth got cut out of it. But I kind of like the whole thing. Seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth.
Wow, it feels good. So you're
Yeah.
listening to Total Useless Information with Nick and Roy, and sometimes we're referred to as frick and frack. So I thought, where does the expression frick and frack come from? They were a
Speak for yourself.
well, I will. For the time being, I will. They were a comedic ice skating duo of Swiss skaters who went to the United States in 1937 and joined the original Ice Folly show. Now, Frick...
Are you kidding?
No.
That's great.
Okay, so Frick was actually Werner Grobly, and Frack was Hans Rudolf Hans Rudy Mach. Frick and Frack were known for their ice skating, as I said, because of their eccentric tricks on ice, including the spread eagle. I'm sure you've seen that, and the rubber legs in one of the acts. So Michael Mach,
I've had that problem as well.
yes, well, that's because of your age. Only a few.
Spread eagle. That's maybe why they refer to us as frickin' frack from our high school days.
Absolutely. There are only a few skaters have successfully performed the duo's routines since they started doing it. Now, Michael Mach, the son of Hans, ascribed the origins of their names. Frick took his name from a small village in Switzerland, and Frock is a Swiss-German word for frock coat, which his father used to wear.
Deutschland.
Thank you for that. They used to wear that in the early days.
Don't you love the Germans?
Yes, they invented a lot of things. They really created a lot of great stuff, including, well, Roy. So anyway, they wore the frock in the early days of their act.
50%, Nick.
That's right. 100, you're 100% or 50% of German. So what they did was they put the two words together and frick and frack because it was a typical Swiss joke. Frick and frack.
I like this one coming up here. The 1,000-yard stare. Now, I've heard my dad say that. And I thought, well, kind of like deer in the headlights, right?
Right.
But that's not what it is. The 1,000-yard stare is the term popularized during World War I and World War II to define the look on the face of soldiers who had seen the horrors of war. They had seen people blown up and shot and their friends die and so on.
Oh, boy.
And they were said to have the 1,000-yard stare. They must have just been staring off into the distance.
I'm going to give you some other expressions that have to do with collectors of things. So if you're a voluminist, you're a collector of matchbooks, not the cars, but matchbooks that you strike matches with, a voluminist. If you're a tegastologist, you collect beer mats. I don't know why you would, but you are. Arctophiles collect teddy bears. And numismatists collect coins. Numismatists. Do you collect teddy bears?
No, Nick, but I know you do.
That's right. I'm an arctophile, among other things.
Why didn't the match go to work?
Why not?
It was on strike.
Oh, look out. Send your complaints to nickandroy.com/contact us.
Or psychiatrist / contact us. I love this one. When my ship comes in.
Ah, okay.
When my ship comes in. A lot of people use that expression. And here's where it came from. The wives of sailors who were out on their ships would promise the shopkeepers that they would pay off their loans when their ship comes in with their husband on it.
Right.
So they would just say, yeah, when my ship comes in, and they would know to put it on their tab.
So that makes sense, right? Because when's my ship going to come in, right? And that means, well, the payment's going to come in. That's fantastic. It's awesome.
Isn't that cool? I
It
love
is.
that one.
Yeah, that's why expressions was one of our favorite topics here on Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us. We are all over the iHeartRadio network in Canada, coast to coast to coast, all over North America. More than 75 countries now, and even in countries where, well, they don't even know what the heck we're talking about, but that's okay. We do, we think. So,
Yeah.
so we encourage you to send us an email at nickandroy.com, and we'll go into our mailbag in just a second.
Also, when you go on nickandroy.com, click on the Nick and Roy store and look at the birthday messages. You'll be able to see a sample of it. It's the most incredible gift you could ever get somebody. It's nickandroy.com, and click on the Nick and Roy store.
We had somebody order a message recently, and she's from Virginia. So, like we said, we're all over North America. She's from Virginia, and I always ask our listeners how they came across our show, and she said, "Well, I was scrolling through Apple Podcasts, which is one of the platforms we're on, and she said, I wanted to find something to fall asleep to, and I'm like, well, gee, thanks a lot, I think. But then she said, but I couldn't fall asleep because I was laughing so much I couldn't sleep at all. So thanks. I said, well, you're welcome." So go to nickandroy.com. You can order your birthday message today for your loved one.
Animals, 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 crazy animals.
Male goats smell more than female goats.
What are they smelling?
Well, they pee themselves to attract female goats. That's why. So
during kind of like you in high school.
That's right. Well, that's why I had a leg up on everyone else. During the during the breeding season, the buck will try to attract does to himself by urinating on his front legs and chest. The heat, what the does do. Try to say that. See, that's grammatically correct. What the does do. Right? This is what the does do. What the does do in heat is they're attracted. They're actually attracted to the odor of the buck's urine. So the buck also has scent glands located in front of his horns. So maybe that's where the expression, go back to expressions, maybe that's where the expression horny came from. But
exactly.
Yeah.
But a little bit horny.
Just a little bit horny, yeah. So male goats do smell more.
It was some sight to see Nick in high school pouring this large beaker of goat urine on himself in order to try to attract women.
Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried that?
No, Nick, I use the time-tested, can I buy you a drink?
No, wait a minute. Okay, I like that line too. But let me give you the line again because I think you missed the opportunity. Are there any side effects of drinking goat urine?
Nah.
That's what I thought.
The mooring gecko, and I could not find out. We have a lot of geckos here in Florida, but the mooring gecko is parthenogenic, meaning it can reproduce without the need of a male.
Oh.
They're all female, and they can reproduce from birth. They have a mechanism that they can reproduce on their own. They do not need a man.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
A glass sponge is found in the deep oceans, and it's not what you think it is. They're like little animals. Their tissues contain glass-like structure particles called spicules, and they're made of silica. They're considered to be one of the oldest species on Earth and have been estimated to live for more than 10,000 to 15,000 years.
They live that long?
Glass sponges.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is.
We have in Tarpon Springs, Florida, we have this massive Greek population, and they sponge dive off Tarpon Springs. There's loads of sponges there, and it's like the sponge capital of the United States, and it's really cool. You go there and you buy actual sea sponges. It's really cool.
But what do you use them for?
So anybody down in Florida, go to the West Coast, Tarpon Springs. It's a real good tourist attraction.
But what do you use the sponges for?
Well, Nick, that's kind of the same situation as the goat. So I'll explain. You bathe with them, Nick.
Oh, I see.
You bathe.
Yeah, I do.
I'll explain bathing to you after the show.
I take showers. I don't take a bath anymore.
I don't bathe either. I just shower. I do not take a bath.
Could you-
Although my wife enjoys the bathtub.
You know, I could just imagine someone just tuning in at the very moment when you say, "I don't bathe." Yeah, we noticed. All right, that's why you have to
And
listen.
to conserve water, I shower with the neighbors. The remains of a 100,000-year-old vampire bat were found in Argentina. The bat was from an extinct species and had, get ready, 2-foot wingspan on a bat, and it drank blood as its food.
That sucks.
That's 2-foot wingspan. This is a big bat.
Roy's gone batty again. So the average elephant can usually hold around a quarter of a gallon, but studies have shown that some bull elephants can hold as much as 2.5 gallons in their trunk.
In their trunks?
In their trunk.
their
I was going to say in their trunks.
Yeah.
So why do
You know
they?
what I got in my trunks?
What? Oh, no. So why do they need to hold water in their trunks at all? Well, contrary to popular myth, I don't have a lisp. Contrary to popular myth, elephants don't drink through their trunks. They suck water up and then lift it to their mouths to drink. They also use the water to spray over themselves to cool off and to shower, unlike Roy. But not only is the trunk an essential part of drinking and bathing, it is also used by elephants for an incredible range of tasks, from feeding to vocalizing to showing affection to exploring new objects. That's right. You've used your trunk many times to show affection. To an elephant, a trunk is as important as hands and arms are to a human.
I love this one. Bees have 5 eyes.
What?
Okay? They have 2 eyes in the front,
Right.
just like we do.
Right.
They have prisms in them, but they use them for visual sight. The 2 eyes in the front.
Okay.
The other 3 eyes are on the top of their head, and they sense light.
Oh.
So, for instance, if an object is coming closer to them, there would be a shadow. So they can sense that long before they can sense or see the actual predator. So they can sense deviations in light and movement through their third eye. The 3 eyes on the top of their head.
I'm wondering if that's the reason why you really can't catch a bee that way, right? Because, or maybe a fly, because when you're just about, you think they're sitting still, you think, okay, I got this one, and then they take
No,
off.
they sense the light change.
There
Yes.
you go. All right, good to know. Next time I catch a bee. Here's a question: can ants smell? Not like the goat, but can they smell?
Depending upon whether they're on a goat's horn, then
Right.
maybe, I don't know.
That's right. Okay. Ants communicate with each other using pheromones, sounds, and touch. The use of pheromones are as chemical signals is more developed in ants than many other insect groups. And similar to other insects, ants perceive smells with their antennae and thus possess a fascinating and admirable ability to smell. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute. No, I'm sure you're asking this question. Why do ants need to smell?
I don't know, Nick. It's not like they're, worried about cologne or maybe they smell pheromones. Oh, I would think that it's pheromones. They actually communicate by pheromones, right?
There you go. So ants have a perceptive sense, like you do, perceptive sense of smell that enables them to locate suitable mates, locate food, locate their nest, and assemble individuals to fight off nest predators, like an ant army, right? Plus, recognize and communicate with groups or castes that comprise their colony.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's
The old smeller.
Yes. Smell ant.
Ready? The caterpillar called the Megalopy opercularis,
Uh-huh.
or the flannel moth caterpillar,
Yeah.
has been renamed, and it is called the Donald Trump caterpillar.
Really?
Now, you have to see a picture of this. Again, it's the flannel moth caterpillars. It looks just like Donald Trump's hair. It's so funny because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, wow. And I had to look into this. But, so it's called the and I know you're looking it up right now.
I am, and
the flannel moth caterpillar. You see it?
yeah, I do. It just looks
It
just like it.
actually looks like Donald Trump's hair. It's
Yeah.
actually very, very funny.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
This is totally useless vehicle information with Nick, Meet, and Roy. Vroom, vroom.
Gee, I can't find my car keys. Roy, why don't you go first on this one?
Okay, by the time you find your car keys, I'll probably be in Canada.
There you go.
In 2012, Nevada became the first state to issue a driver's license to a self-driving car.
Oh, okay.
So it issued the driver's license to the car or the robot that drives the car, the robot computer. Nothing can go wrong with this, right, Nick?
No, not at all. Are you kidding?
This is no problem at all. I want to give them names now, if that's the case.
Okay, but hold on. So do the robots have to stand up and in line at the DMV to get their license?
I would assume they do, but here's the funniest part of all. Those robots are driving around right now while you're looking for your keys.
Oh, yeah. That is. Oh, I found them. Here they are. Okay. The evolution of the turn signal. Because some of us use our turn signal and some overuse the turn signal. Are you one of those that turns on the signal and it doesn't shut it off?
Listen, yes, I am. It drives my wife crazy. She's constantly like, do you not hear it? Do you not? Why do you drive away and then put your seatbelt on? Why are you so close to? My wife does a lot of that. She's not only a backseat driver, she's a back, front, and trunk driver. But
what do you mean trunk? Hold on. Wait. What do you mean trunk driver? You put her in the trunk?
Sometimes it's necessary. Nick,
Oh,
you know?
wow.
Yeah. Then you put the radio up real loud so you can't hear the screaming.
That's right. Boy,
your
doghouse must be really, really comfortable, man.
So truth be told, Nick called me the other day and he was on the road and he's like, what is this guy doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's right.
He was having a case of reverse road rage. He was actually getting mad at himself.
Okay, so the evolution of the turn signal. So Percy Douglas Hamilton invented and patented a simple pair of hands that attached to the car in 1909. Okay. I can just imagine you're making a turn, and as somebody passes the side of your car, you go to signal and you slap that person in the face.
That would be great.
All right. Then Florence Lawrence created, but didn't patent it, but she created this device that used a pair of arms to signal turns in 1920. So they went from hands to arms, so you really get to whack the pedestrian along the side of the car. Edgar Walls Jr. designed and patented a light with two arrows and a brake light in 1925. And Joseph Bell created, no, not the car horn. He created and patented the first electrical device that flashed in the late 1930s. In 1939, Buick made the turn signal standard in all their vehicles. They were the first car company to do so. The Buick in 1939 became the first car company to make turn signals standard on their vehicles.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. You know, in October, we all had a great time celebrating Pizza Month. Now that we're in a new month, any time of the year is a good time to visit Pete's Pizza.
I say when it comes to Pete's, every month is Pizza Month, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Pete's Pizza knows the only way to make a perfect pizza is by using the freshest ingredients.
Every day they roll out with their own dough to create their signature pizzas.
Since 1984, the 6 Niagara locations have been known as the small pizzerias that are big on taste and easy on your budget. With locations across St. Catharines and Niagara Falls, you're just minutes away from some of the best pizza and wings in town.
Always open late. Find a Pete's Pizza near you.
I don't know about you, Nick. I'll tell you, I'm starting to feel hungry just talking about Pete's Pizza.
Yeah.
If you've never had Pete's Pizza, you have to try it. And go to their website, Pete'sPizzaNiagara.ca. That's Pete'sPizzaNiagara.ca.
By the way, Roy, they called me the other day. They said, please tell Roy, stop licking the screen. Check out their specially marked pizza boxes. When you go to Pete's Pizza and order a pizza, Roy and I have provided useless pizza facts. So when you go there, look for those specially marked boxes. It's a lot of fun. You know, they've been around for 40 years, and Pete's Pizzas are family owned and operated. They began at one location off Pleasant Avenue in St. Catharines, and over 40 years later, the original shop at 6 Pleasant Avenue is still open, as well as the other locations in St. Catharines and Niagara Falls to serve you. So if you're hungry, just like Roy is, visit their website, petespizzaniagara.ca. That's petespizzaniagara.ca.
Plus, they're the greatest people in the world. They do so much for the community. Life is not about finding yourself, Nick. Life is about finding pizza.
Pete's Pizza.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Wheels are essential to a car. We all know that.
Yes.
But did you know that the wheel was invented around 3500 BC before Christ?
Really?
In Mesopotamia, the wheel was invented, but it wasn't invented for transportation. It was invented to drive like a water wheel. It was invented to spin around on a table, to grind the meal, the cornmeal, and so on, and things like that.
Oh.
It's not until some 200 years later, 200 to 300 years later, before someone figured out if you attach this to a cart, it's easier to roll around stuff.
There you go.
And thus the wheel became a vehicle.
I would hate to get a flat on that thing, right? So you'd have to get another. Yeah, the equivalent of the roadside assistance would take like 5 to 10 years, because you have to go find the boulder to actually make the next wheel, right? So
I'm coming now. I'll be there in about 6 weeks. I'm chiseling you a new wheel.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has enjoyed that new car smell. It's like one of the favorite parts. If you ever bought a new car or ever ridden a new car, it just has that smell, right? That new car smell. In fact, some of the air fresheners, not just Pine Trees, they also make them a new car smell, right? We're all familiar with that new car smell, correct?
Yes.
The new car smell is a complex mixture of over 50 different volatile organic compounds. These compounds are released through the process called off-gassing, very much what Roy does, which typically peaks during the few weeks of a vehicle's life. Some of the more commonplace poisonous compounds beneath this category include acetaldehyde, acrolein, benzene, ethylbenzene, formaldehyde, styrene, toluene, and xylene.
I'm going to sue them. I thought I had the patent on that.
What? the off-gassing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
I see.
off-gassing.
Yeah, so all of those, that new car smell is nothing more than the chemicals, these poisonous chemicals that are coming off from the...
You want to know something really funny, Nick?
Yeah.
Certain cars have certain smells. Like if you sit in a Volvo, it smells different than a General Motors car.
Oh, really?
But if you sit in a Toyota or a Honda, the Japanese cars, or even a Subaru for that matter, they all smell very similar. So they must be using different plastic products or whatever. But the Honda, I have a Honda now, and it has its own unique interior smell when you get it new.
Oh, wow. Of course, the smell changes after you're in it after a few hours. But go on. What's your next car fact?
Yeah. Well, I try to urinate in my car to attract other cars.
That's right. That's how you rate your
Tires,
cars.
Nick.
Excuse me. That's how you rate your cars. Car, urinate.
If you had wheels, you'd be a 10.
That's right.
Tires.
Yes.
Not wheels. Tires are vulcanized, not by Leonard Nimoy.
I was going to ask you.
Thanks. I'm glad you asked. It's the process of making rubber more durable by heating it up with sulfur and other polymers. Charles Goodyear figured this out while he was in jail. And I'm going to look more into this to find out why he was in jail, because it didn't say, and that intrigued me. But he was in jail, and a piece of rubber fell onto the stove top, which was extremely red hot. The rubber melted, and when he pried it off the stove top, he realized it had become much harder than its original rubber form. So he realized by heating up rubber, you could make it stronger and more durable. Thus, he called the process vulcanization.
Wow. This one I call Automobile Idol. I almost said American Idol. Automobile Idol. According to a study by DME Automotive, singing out loud was the top non-driving activity people do in the car. There are other things you do in the car, but singing out loud was the top one. Something like 56% of the motorists who took the survey admitted to singing behind the wheel. Women are more likely to sing than men. 65% are women, 49% men. And people under 35 are more likely to rock out than those 35 and over.
Do you sing in the car, Nick?
I do. I do. Absolutely. I vulcanize in the car too. But
I sing all the time in the car. I look like a lunatic.
Well, no.
But I practice songs that I may want to do at the show, you know?
Now, speaking of the show, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because those of you who don't know, Roy lives in the southwest part of Florida. And if you go to musicbyroy.com, that's his website, when he's not giving us totally useless information, he gives an amazing performance. He's a great singer. He performs at clubs and restaurants and all kinds of other places. He's been private parties. So go to musicbyroy.com.
And midway through the show, I urinate on myself.
That's right. Yes. Wow. So check it out, musicbyroy.com, and you can hear him sing.
I got another one here, Nick.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, before you do that, my next fact I'll give you as part of another survey of what songs people are belting out in their cars.
Oh, okay. Well, Ford invented. Now, people don't know this. This is amazing because Ford had some disasters before he invented the Model T. The first car he invented, he called the Model A. It was a disaster. It was a very upscale vehicle, and he was trying to go up against companies like Cadillac and Duesenberg, and he realized that he didn't have the power to do so.
Right.
But most people don't know that he had 8 failures, actually 7 failures before the Model T. He had the Model A, the Model B, the Model C. Then he goes to the Model F, the Model K, the Model N, the Model R, and the Model S.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 disastrous models until he eventually invents the Model T, which is the successful one. So it just goes to prove, if at first you don't succeed, learn your ABCs.
I was going to say, his problem was that he couldn't build a car. He didn't know the alphabet. That was his problem, really.
What happened to D?
I don't know. Well, just like...
And I, J. What happened?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I would like to find that out, too. There's a lot of things here, Nick, that I have to research.
You know, I guess you don't know this one. Do you know what the first Canadian car was?
No.
The Model A. Okay. Here's the list of songs according.
That was very bad.
Thank
Go to
you.
nickandroy.com and go to the complaint section.
That's right. Oh yeah, yeah. It's the biggest button on the website. Go to so insurance.com. Survey 2,000 drivers and ask them, because we know that the majority of people, the number one thing that they do in their car other than driving is sing. So they asked these 2,000 drivers, what is the best and worst song for driving? And the study found that, I'll give you the best, the favorite song last, but let's do some of the hits. Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane. Okay, well, that's almost obvious, right? Any Way You Want It by Journey. You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. And
all anthems.
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. And the most favorite song for motorists is another Journey song, Don't Stop Believin'.
Really?
Now, the least popular songs, Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men, and, Taylor Swift's We Are Never, Ever Getting Back Together Again, not after that song, and Believe by Cher.
I find any Taylor Swift song to be offensive while driving.
It's really exciting.
And I honestly cannot forgive her for destroying a great football player.
Well, I'm raised in Southwest Florida, as I mentioned. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and in the month of November, we're recording this prior to that, but in the month of November, Taylor Swift is visiting the city of Toronto with her Eras tour. And the city is absolutely getting ready for it. They have extra transportation. They have extra subway cars and streetcars and things like that. And the city is all getting ready for the thousands and thousands of people who are going to flock to Toronto to watch Taylor Swift destroy a football player.
Oh, boy.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Attention all men, it'll soon be Black Friday, the absolute best time to restock your wardrobe for the office, an event, or a night out. Be ready for it all. Hi, Nick and Roy for Tom's Place.
It's always important to look your best, and Tom's has you covered. From sharp business casual to stylish sports jackets to sophisticated suits or tuxedos, everything a man needs for less, it's Tom's.
Like incredible deals on select dress shirts for only $60. Designer suits starting at $650, now slashed to $375, or at an amazing $3 for $1,000. Plus a huge selection of sports jackets, now 50% off.
3 suits, designer suits for $1,000, folks. And that's not all. The second floor prices are slashed on suits, sport jackets, and dress shirts and pants. Check out our website at toms-place.com. toms-place.com for more details and all of the great deals.
Tom's Place Black Friday sale starting now at Tom's Place in the heart of the Kensington Market. 190 Baldwin Street, Tom's Place will suit you.
And to all our listeners, get on down to Tom's Place for these special Black Friday deals.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Mike from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Dear Nick and Roy, we love listening to your show. I first heard about your show through a friend who loves podcasts. Then I found out that you are on the radio in Toronto. Yes, we are, as we mentioned on the iHeartRadio Talk Network all across Canada, and Toronto is one of them on News Talk 1010. But here's my question, Mike writes. It's kind of embarrassing because for many years, well, it's kind of embarrassing that I listened to your show. No, it's kind of embarrassing because for many years I worked for IBM, but I never knew why the IBM logo has 8 stripes. So my question is, why does the IBM logo have 8 stripes? I'm glad you reached out to us, the voices of reason, the voices of useless information, Nick and Roy, to find out that IBM in the 1970s invented several important pieces of technology, including the floppy disk, the supermarket checkout station, IBM, right, they're the ones, and the early form of the ATM. Paul Rand, a graphic designer, created IBM's now instantly recognizable 8-bar logo in 1972. The 3 letters of the company name rendered an 8 and sometimes 13 horizontal lines, which usually appear in black, gray, or white, or IBM blue. And in case you're wondering, it's identified as Pantone PMS 2718C. And the logo is now considered to be among the company's most valuable assets. Thank you.
So why the 8 lines?
Well, the answer is the horizontal stripes are intended to suggest speed and dynamism.
Fritz from Mannheim, Germany.
Okay, go
Now,
ahead.
I'm not going to begin to sing just yet.
Okay.
But Fritz says, I love your show.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I've learned so much. Why do you sing the national anthem of Germany all the time on the show? Every time something German is discussed, you begin to sing the national anthem. Why? Well, Fritz, here's a real cool, interesting fact. My grandmother, German, and my grandfather, was German. My grandfather was from Bonn, but my grandmother, Fritz, comes from Mannheim, Germany, which is a pretty small town
Yeah.
for Germany. And Fritz, so me and you might be related somehow, Fritz, because my grandmother was from Mannheim, Germany.
Oh.
And the reason I sing the national anthem of Germany every time is to make it funny. But I actually speak German because my grandmother taught me when I was a kid.
Nice.
And I grew up with so many different German heritage things that were passed down from my grandparents to me about the German culture. And it's a fantastic culture. So Fritz from Mannheim, Germany, who says all of his friends listen, all of his Freunds are listening. So Fritz, thank you so much.
I wonder if Fritz had a cat. Today on the show we had we talked about expressions. We talked about animals. Speaking of cats and animals, we talked about cars. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
Inside Soul Brothers shoe store, shelves aren't the only thing that were empty. The owner, Hunter Ernig, is feeling the stress of the moment. Around 3 o'clock in the morning just a few days ago, he received an alert on his phone from his security company. So he went and he checked it out. Apparently 3 men stole more than 50 clothing items, about a dozen pairs of shoes, and 100 right shoes. Not pairs of shoes.
They stole just the right shoes.
Just the right shoes. The cost to his business is roughly $45,000.
What the hell was that about?
I don't know. I wonder if they were lefties. The cost of the business is roughly $45,000, and he realized that
the thieves were seen hopping away on their right foot.
And I think they did catch one of the suspects. His name was Neil. I realized that they took almost every other shoe in a lot of pairs that were on the wall, he says, the owner. At that point, it was really just like demoralizing thing. So this was in Cincinnati. So the Cincinnati Police Department, they're investigating the incident. But you're right. I mean, they couldn't make a clean getaway. They'd just be, hopping along.
The cop would say to the other cop, okay, let's chase him. You go to the right.
Right. My goodness.
Nick, they stole just the one shoe from each box.
That's right. So,
somebody was messing with this guy.
Well, they said that the car drove up to the front door. The business and has been a true test for everything for me. He says, even after all this, he asked them to, he asked his employees to clean up the disheveled shelves, as he puts it, and the heaping piles of left shoe only boxes. So now he had 2 problems. One, he had right shoes that are missing. Now he had boxes of left shoes only in them.
Yeah, but see, Nick, here's the way I think, because I'm a true entrepreneur.
Right.
I would just reorder those shoes, okay, or sneakers, whatever they are.
Right.
And then I would use the one left shoe that is left as a display.
Right.
So you then can keep all the other shoes in the back. So he still has a display.
Right. I see.
See?
And he has a full set of shoes.
This is the way I think, Nick.
So even though he harbors no hate for the individual responsible for this theft, he's asking people to see if they recognize them so they can be held accountable. Well, you know what? I think you and I just cracked the case.
Recognize what? The one-shoed criminals? What? What do they want us to recognize?
Well,
or the shoes themselves? What?
Well, I guess the moral of this story, if the shoe fits. But the thing is that there's only right shoe, right? So what did they wear on the left foot? Now, they might have worn left shoes, or maybe they got rid of their right shoes just to disguise, to maybe pretend those were their shoes. No one noticed that they're wearing 2 different shoes?
I just don't know, Nick. I don't know what to tell you on this one. This is a perplexing crime.
Yes.
This needs, the FBI forensic study.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I just don't get it.
Yes.
They took the time to take one shoe out of each box.
No, not out of the box.
What kind of clothes did they steal?
No.
One-legged pants?
No. No. Listen. No. See, the right shoes are on display. They didn't go into the boxes, but but those right shoes had a left partner, and so the left partner was left, as it were, in the boxes in the storeroom.
I get
you see.
it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they just went in there. These were not very smart criminals. They just started grabbing boxes and didn't realize that the displays were out there. See?
Exactly. There you go.
Oh, I thought they were pulling a fast one on this guy.
Well, not so
you
fast
know.
that they're hopping along. Basically, these thieves, these crooks, they are one shoe short of a full box. That's all the time that I just came up with one. They're one shoe short of a full box of shoes. That's all the time we have for this episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us. We will scour the internet as we have for the past 5 years. We'll scour the internet among other sources to find out totally useless information just for you.
And until then, you need to tell everyone you know about this show, because that's what's made this show so popular with millions of listeners in 75 countries around the world now, on radio stations all over the place in the United States and Canada. We really, really do thank you, and we appreciate everything that you folks do. And of course, go to nickandroy.com and look at all the fun stuff we're doing on there. Maybe you want to get our newsletter as well.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. And by Pete's Pizza, celebrating 40 years serving the St. Catharines and Niagara Falls area. Pete's Pizza. Life is not about finding yourself, it's about finding pizza. If you're hungry, visit petespizzaniagara.ca.
If you want to feel more connected to humanity and a little less alone, listen to Beautiful Anonymous. Each week, I take a phone call from one random anonymous human being. There's over 400 episodes in our back catalog. You get to feel connected to all these different people all over the world. Recent episodes include one where a lady survived a murder attempt by her own son. But then the week before that, we just talked about Star Trek. It can be anything. It's unpredictable. It's raw. It's real. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.